Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. Today is what, April 12th. We're actually 1 week away from Easter Sunday, which is next Sunday, the 20th. I'm excited about that. Easter Sunday, in my view, is the most important day in the history of the world. And as a Christian, I firmly believe that because without my Lord and Savior rising from the dead, our faith would be dead. And so it's a big day. And we lead up to that all week. I am doing a Bible study for all of those of you that may want to participate on Thursday, the 17th, I believe. Yes, I'm doing a Bible study, I think at 5 p.m. For anybody that wants to join in, please go to michaelfrancis.com/Bible study. I think there'll be for both YouTube and Rumble. That's michaelfrancis.com/Bible study. You don't have to be of the Christian faith to participate in these Bible studies. People of all faiths have been participating and they've been getting a lot out of it. There's a lot in Scripture that is, both informative, educational, encouraging, more than anything else. So please jump in. It'll be a special one. And I think also we're having two. We're having one on Wednesday that my team is conducting, and then I'll be doing one on Holy Thursday, Thursday night. So once again, michaelfrancis.com/Bible study. For all those of you that are interested in joining our community, I'm telling you, we did a great Q&A last night with many. We had about 106 people, I believe, that joined in. I answer a lot of questions on any topic that you may want. Plus, we have so many resources. I wish you can hear some of the people, what they're saying about what they're getting. Excuse me. And for me, it's all about bringing back community here in this country, which is something we're terribly lacking and something I want to get into this morning. So please do that, michaelfrancis.com/family. Very easy to remember, michaelfrancis.com/family. Again, I think it'll be posted in the chat, and we'd love to have you all aboard. Just a quick update from my friends in Australia. I hopefully will be getting my visa this week. There's been some technical problems, but I don't see a problem moving forward with it. So that's going to happen. Just stay tuned. I'm going to speak to you about a couple of topics that I think are really important this morning for maybe a half an hour, and then we want to get into the chats. And I really want you to listen to what it is I have to say because it's all about our future in this country. It's about what America is going to look like over the next several years, several decades, I would say, and just how to navigate, such a tough time that we're going through. It really is. I mean, there's so much chaos going on in this country and in the world, and it's not for anybody's benefit. Believe me, the only people that benefit from chaos are those people in power. One group or another are going to benefit from it. And, I'm sorry, but there are certain people that thrive on chaos. It throws everything, into confusion. People don't know what they're doing. And then those people that have devious intentions take advantage of that. It's kind of like things that happened on the street. You want chaos, somebody's going to come out of it. And normally the person that comes out of it is not going to be acting on the behalf of the people that went through it. And that's just how it goes. So I want to talk about something this morning. We'll get into a few things. Let me mention something first about this whole tariff situation that's going on with Trump. And I'm going to back into something else after I discuss this because it's on everybody's mind because we're being force-fed this every single day. We're being force-fed tariffs. They're good, they're bad, they're good, they're bad. Let me tell you my opinion. I'm not an expert on this. I can't predict what's going to happen. I really don't know. It's above my pay scale, so to speak. I'm not a politician in that regard. I'm not an economist. I sit back and I watch and I judge and I see what's going to happen, and then I make decisions or conclusions, whether this was right or wrong. Now, I will say this. Donald Trump has been talking about China taking advantage of America for 40 years. You can go back and see continuous video on him talking about it. He's been saying it for a long time. Now, he's a business guy. And, he was impacted in a way by China's dominance in the trade market. And it seems to be accurate. If you think about it, at some point in time, I remember when I was a kid, all of a sudden everything was coming in from Japan and China, China, Japan. And finally, China took over even more because they got into bigger manufacturing items. But there was a time when everything that you looked at was made in China or made in Japan. And there was definitely a trade imbalance then. So, and it's continued. And I believe it's reasonable to say that it's gotten worse. We have a big trade deficit with China. China's intentions for the United States are not good. They want to be the world dominant country, and that's it. I've read, in the past that they had a 70-year plan to devalue our dollar, you know, um, and take over the world domination as far as economics and military power and everything else. And we've seen what they've done here in the United States, buying up land, buying up farmland next to our military, compounds. They're doing a lot, TikTok and all of this stuff. China is trying to dominate the world. So we have to say this about Trump. He's been consistent for over 40 years talking about China's desire to dominate the world and take over America's position as the world's most dominant country and superpower. They've been trying to do this. So now he gets into office and he just wants to continue what he's been saying for 40 years. He hasn't changed. So he starts to impose these tariffs, not only on China, but on the rest of the world, because he wants to make America great again. You have to believe this is really in his mind. Now, there's some people out there saying, well, he wants to get wealthier. The guy is 78 years old. He doesn't have to worry about anything ever in his life. He's a billionaire. How much more money do you need, and what are you going to do with it? You're 78 years old. His whole family is set up. They're all wealthy. And they're going to continue to be wealthy because they're in business that generates a significant amount of revenue for them. So for those of out there that are saying, he's doing this so he can fill his own pockets and the pockets of his billionaire friends, my question to them is, show us who these billionaire friends are and show us how they're going to gain money while everybody else suffers, because that's what the left is trying to tell us. This is what they're saying. Adam Schiff comes out and says he wants to investigate the Trump family because of the stock market variation. He wants to see if the Trump family, in the recent couple of weeks now, since these tariffs have been imposed, if they are capitalizing on insider trading. Fair enough, Adam. If you want to throw that out there, throw it out there. But before you do that, we want to investigate your earnings during the time you were in Congress. We want to investigate Nancy Pelosi and how she became a multi-millionaire worth over $250 million. I've heard closer to $500 million, but over $250 million on a congressional salary. If you want to start investigating Trump, then stop being a hypocrite and the fraud and the liar that you know you are, okay? And start investigating everybody in Congress to see how these people became so wealthy. Mitch McConnell also, he's a Republican. Let's investigate him. How did you all become so wealthy on a congressional salary of what, 150 to 250 grand a year? Show us how you've done that. So before you want to investigate Trump and his family, let's investigate everybody. Every time Congress has tried to do something about insider trading, you guys squash it. Why? Because you're capitalizing on it. We know that. We're not stupid. And Adam Schiff, you cost the American taxpayers $36 million on your phony Russiagate investigation that you continue. You continue this lie, even though it's been disproven by your own special counsel hired by Biden. So stop being a hypocrite, because that's all you are. You're a fraud and a hypocrite, and stop throwing up these smoke screens, because that's all you're doing. See who the billionaires are that you claim that Trump is doing these tariffs to make his billionaire friends wealthy. Do you understand how stupid that sounds? They're billionaires already. They're going to continue to be billionaires. And Elon Musk has lost money. He's lost over $100 billion of his own net worth. And he's actually spoke out against the tariffs with the United Kingdom. He said, lift all tariffs. He wants totally free trade between our countries. So you don't even know what you're talking about. Stop lying just for the sake of opposing Trump and putting this propaganda in the American people's minds. So getting back to Trump right away, because I had to deal with Adam Schiff. He's such a phony and a liar and a hypocrite. I would tell him to his face if I ever, had the displeasure of getting in front of him, maybe bunking into him somewhere. You probably won't, because he walks around or drives around in his chauffeured limousines and his first class operations, all on taxpayer money. So you don't bunk into these people unless you go to the Capitol and seek them out. But I have to say this. I don't know what's going to happen with Trump and these tariffs. I can't predict that. But I do believe that he's doing it for the right reasons, because he really wants to bring manufacturing back in this country and he wants to build up America again. I believe that. Now, if I'm wrong at some point in time, then I'll admit that I'm wrong. I don't think he's pulling the wool over my eyes. I think he's sincere. I really do believe that. Now, we'll see. And, let me address these protesters that are out there protesting Musk and protesting Donald Trump. Please, people, don't believe for 1 second that they're not being paid. They're being paid to do this by Soros and the group of billionaires that are part of the deep state on the left side. There's no question about it. They're being paid because if you question them, they don't understand the economics of the tariffs. They don't get it. These are not educated people that are running, meetings in boardrooms. You could look at them and you could see it. And I don't want to be mean, but it's the truth. What do they know? They're being paid. They're paid protesters. They're going out all over the country just to do this, to spread propaganda and to go against Trump for no other reason than they're being paid to do so. They don't know. It probably hasn't affected any of it. It hasn't affected my pocket yet. I go to the grocery store. I'm still going to the gas station. It hasn't affected us yet. Now, yes, some people, and mostly wealthier people, have lost money in their 401ks. But you know what? This is the volatility of the stock market. It's going to come back. It always does. It goes up and it goes down. We lost 4,000 points. I think it's up 500 points for the week this week. So this is what's going to happen. It's going to go up and down. It'll even itself out at some point in time. So, you got to give our president the chance to see if he's doing right. He's in office, almost 4 months, not even 4 months yet. I think the 20th of this month is 4 months. We got to give him a chance. I am, because I believe his intentions are sincere for this country. I really do believe that. That's my opinion. Now, I have to say this. I want to address this. Bill Maher, had a meeting that was arranged by Kid Rock at the White House with Donald Trump. He had dinner with him. And he came back with glowing remarks about Donald Trump. He was shocked. He was surprised. He couldn't believe it. There's a whole article. I'm not going to read it all, but he had nothing but good things to say about Trump. He even asked Trump to sign. He brought a paper with him that listed all of the names that Donald Trump called Bill Maher, like a dummy, like this, like that. And he asked Donald Trump to sign it. And Trump laughed and signed it for him. And he said he was engaging. He was humble. He was one of the best, dinners that he's ever had. He was fully engaged. He looked him in the eye. He talked. He seen that he was interested. He asked him about certain things, what he thought about it. And he wanted Bill Maher's opinion. He said it was an absolutely wonderful dinner. People on the left are going crazy. But you know what? I've heard this consistently about Donald Trump. People that know him one-on-one, he has a little bit of a different persona than he does as president. And Bill Maher said this. He was shocked, surprised. So I go back to this. What is this hatred, this vendetta? I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime from people on the left in politics. Let's talk about people in politics that hate Donald Trump with a passion. I can only come up with one answer, people. I'm trying to be sensible and logical. Did he ever do anything to them personally? What did he do that was so horrible that they had this hatred and this vendetta, that they're willing to sacrifice the benefit of the American people just to deny anything that Donald Trump wants to do, whether it's good for the country or not? There is a vendetta, a hatred. It's evil and it's demonic. And I only know the answer. There's only one explanation for me. And that is that he doesn't care about the good old boy network that exists in Congress and in Washington, D.C., that made all of these people wealthy. These people go into power to become wealthy. That's what it's all about. It's all about power and money and control. That's what they want. And then they want to impose their will on us. It's not the will of the people that they're looking to spread throughout the country. They want their will spread on us. And Donald Trump, he disrupted that. He said, I don't care. I got all the money I need. I'm not even taking, a salary as president. I don't need anything. But I live in this country. It was very good to me, and I want to bring that kind of country back. And they don't like it because they can't capitalize on that. Because if these people were earning 250 grand a year and maybe were able to, capitalize a little bit, not to the tune of Nancy Pelosi, 250 to $500 million, okay, then we would know that they were really sincere. But that's not what they want. They want to become wealthy and they want to control us. And Donald Trump said, no, I don't need you. I don't like the system, and I'm going to disrupt it. And they hate him. They despise him for it. And who becomes the victim of their despise of Donald Trump? Every one of us. Every one of us. And that resulted in what? They wanted to maintain power so much that they opened up the southern border. People, I've said this since day one. These are not humanitarian people. They don't give a damn about you and me and the people in this country. Because if they did, they would have never opened the border. They opened the border for one reason and one reason only, and that's to flood this country with people that would eventually again vote for Democrats. That's why they're against voter ID. That's why they're against voter registration, because they want anybody to be able to vote so they can send their minions out and convince everybody that if you don't vote Democrat, you're going to be deported. If you don't vote Democrat, all your rights are going to be taken away. And unfortunately, so many of the people in this country are uninformed that they go along with this. They listen. And it started at the top. It's the people at the top that have caused the divisiveness in this country. Period. It's not you and me and normal Main Street people. It's not any one of us. We didn't do this. They did it. They're the race baiters. They're the ones that put evil thoughts in people's minds. I'm not saying anything out of school. Just sit back and rationalize and look at the history that they've created. Look at it. It's there. It's right in front of our eyes. These are bad people that want to divide this country because they want to be chaotic. Reverend Al Sharpton, what is he doing now? And I'm mentioning people randomly. It's okay. What is he doing now? Now he's going to Pepsi. Now, let me tell you his whole game, because I dealt with him on the street. I know his game intimately. I dealt with him on it. He doesn't care about his own people. He only cares about capitalizing on them. That's all he cares about. He's a race baiter. He's full of baloney. He's never changed. All he's changed is his outfit. That's it. And his weight. Okay, he lost, I don't know, 100 pounds. But this is what he does. He goes to a company like Pepsi. That's his next target. Why did you stop doing your DEI program in Texas, in Pepsi? Why did you do that? So now he's saying, you got 3 weeks to clean it up. If you don't, we're going to pick it. And I'll tell you what the next move is. He'll go in there and he'll settle with them for X amount of dollars. And they'll donate that money to his nonprofit. And you know what he does with his nonprofit? He takes a big salary. The last I heard was 750 grand. I could be off, but that's what I heard. I also read that he took $1 million in bonuses from his nonprofit. $1 million in bonuses? In other words, what he does, he extorts the company. Hey, we're going to pick it out here. We're going to give you bad press. We're going to do everything, but you can pay me off. He's been doing that for the last 40 years. He did it on the street. I know it. When we were going to unionize Atlantic City, the security guards, I had the security guards. They were my union. We were going to unionize them. I engaged Al Sharpton to get his black friends to come and picket in front of there. And he said, hey, for money, I'll do anything. Put money in my pocket, I'll do anything. He didn't care about his people. He didn't care about the tie. He didn't care about anything. Why did Reverend Al Sharpton, who cared so much about Kamala Harris, his black sister, why did he charge her $500,000 to sit down and have an interview. It's a fact. And she paid him. She was dumb enough to pay him. Her dumb campaign. Who watches this guy anyway? Nobody watches him. He is nothing but an extortionist who takes advantage of his own people. He's capitalizing on them, the whole race baiter. He's a race baiter, nothing more. And yeah, Sharpton, I'm calling you out on it. Come and see me. You want to talk about it anytime. You talk fast, but when I know the truth, it doesn't matter how fast you talk. Okay? Because let's do your history. That's all you've done. I want to see all the donations into your nonprofit. They're probably 90% of them are extortion donations. Who the hell are you kidding? Not me. I know you too well. I know your game. But let's get back to something that's really important. The division in this country. People, I have to say this again. If you can point out to me what Donald Trump has done, how he's lied, how he's cheated as president, okay, in his first term of office and what he's doing now, and how he's capitalized on that, point it out to me, give me facts. Don't say anything that is a left talking point. Give me facts, then I'll say, okay. If it's true, okay. And I'll call him out on it. I don't see it. I don't see where all this hatred is coming from people on the street, other than the fact that they're being fed this hatred by the people on top. That's it. They're the ones that have divided this country because they want to stay in power. And I've said this to you many, many times, and I'll say it again. You cannot put your trust in people that consistently lie to you. Consistently. And they've consistently lied to us for at least the past 4 years. They lied about the border. Biden and his compatriots. And look, when I say Biden, don't only hold Biden alone accountable, because we now know from his own people that he wasn't in control. To call him a puppet, you're giving him too much credit by calling him a puppet, because then we're absolving him of everything. No, he was in politics for 50 years. He deserves no empathy whatsoever. He stayed in the role of presidency when he knew he was doing damage to his country. He's a bad guy. His wife is a bad person because she allowed it to happen. They didn't care about this country. They only wanted to impose their agenda on us, which was the leftist agenda of control. That's it. Remember this. They covered up what was going on at the border. They said they couldn't shut down the border, and Donald Trump did it in 2 months. They lied about that. They had people come into this country that wreaked havoc in our neighborhoods, that raped women, that robbed people. They let Venezuelan gangs come in. According to the FBI chief, remember him? He said there are definitely terrorist cells in this country that came in over the north and south border. He allowed it to happen. They allowed it to happen. They lied about it and they covered up. Bad, bad, bad lie and bad cover up. They covered up Biden himself, who wasn't capable of being president for 4 years. They pulled the wool over our eyes. They lied. They lied. They lied. You can't trust them ever again. Okay, the hatred for Donald Trump. They're throwing up all these smoke screens about the tariffs. What the hell do these people know? What does AOC know about economics? And she was a bartender before she got into Congress. And her neighborhood in the Bronx is in terrible shape. She doesn't even go and visit there. She doesn't care about those people. What does she know about economics? Nothing. What did Kamala Harris know about economics? Nothing. She never ran a business in her life. How could she be imposing that on us? All they did was lie about Trump because they don't have a clue. Not a clue. Schumer, absolute liar. Chuck Schumer's been in Congress for what, 40 or 50 years. He never ran a business. He doesn't have a clue about these tariffs. Not a clue. Nor does he have a clue about foreign affairs. He doesn't know anything. And they want to tell a guy that's been in business all his life, a successful business, a billionaire, they want to tell him what's going on. And remember this, Nancy Pelosi, 30 years ago, it's on video. She spoke against China and how the trade imbalance was severe. She spoke against it. Chuck Schumer, the same thing. Biden, the same thing. But now that Trump is trying to do something, Obama, the same thing. They all spoke out about it, but they did nothing. It was all lip service because they were capitalizing on it. Trump, who doesn't give a darn and says, no, I don't need China. I don't need anybody. We're going to even it out in this country. We're going to reset the trade balance throughout the world. America's going to be number one because they all need us. And they do. And yes, we need them to a certain extent, but they need us more. So he's bringing them to the table. Yeah, now he lifted what, the 10%. I mean, he put a pause rather on tariffs because 70 countries have come in to negotiate because they know that their economy can't last without the United States. It's negotiation. What does AOC know about negotiation? What did Biden know about negotiation? Remember what Obama's chief of staff said about Biden? He's been wrong on every foreign policy issue throughout his entire life. He said, and what did Obama say? Don't ever underestimate the power of Joe Biden to F things up. So what did they know? They don't know anything. And they're trying to make you believe that they do. They're a bunch of liars and hypocrites, and we can never put our faith in them again because they will destroy us. I am telling you, people, you should go to church this week and thank our God and our Lord and Savior for putting Donald Trump in office, or let's put it this way, for defeating Kamala Harris. Because another 4 years of this administration, this country would have been done. China would become the world dominant country, and the evil axis, so to speak, of China and Iran and Russia and all of these countries that basically hate us, we would have been destroyed. There's no question about it. And you know what? When I thank God for many things this week, that's number one on the list, for saving the country that I love, for preserving it for my children and grandchildren. But getting back to this, the divisiveness in this country is caused by the people on top, Republican and Democrat. And I said during Trump's first term, I said he caused a lot of the division with his silly texts and all of that stuff. He's not doing that now. He's gotten wise to that. Okay. And I defended Trump because he was always under the attack. And as a fellow New Yorker, I understand we fight back. So he fought back because he was constantly under attack from the day he walked down that escalator, if you remember. And they threw more garbage at this man than anybody in the history of this country. So he fought back. So the country was divided more than ever before. But these people on the left have been lying to us and just feeding us propaganda and hate and evil. Remember, Trump was a dictator. Trump was a Nazi. Trump was Hitler. Do you see any of that now? He closed the border. Who did he do that for? He didn't do it for him. He's in the White House. Anybody in the border is not going to bother him the same way they won't bother Pelosi or Schumer or any of these hypocrites that live in their ivory towers. He did it for the people of this country because we can't afford to support them and we can't afford to worry about them in our neighborhoods where they're committing crimes. He did it for us. That's why he closed the border. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. How many times have you heard a president say they're going to do something during a campaign and then actually do it? As far as the tariffs, the same thing. He said he was going to use tariffs, and he's doing it. When did you ever hear of a president that did that? Obama's red line became an imaginary line. They all lie. They all lie. Trump is the greatest threat to the deep state and to the government system as the way it operates now as a mafia democracy. This book has never been more relevant. Mafia democracy. Trump is a threat to the mafia democracy. And you can say all you want about Trump having, relationships with the mafia, in New York, which is total nonsense. He was a contractor like anybody else. He had to deal with us so he wouldn't get his stuff built. Don't you understand that? We controlled, the construction industry as far as the unions were concerned. So like him and Gutterman and all these others, he had to work with us. That was it. So stop that nonsense that they're trying to put in your head. The mafia democracy is in the halls of government. And he has put a stop to it. He's the greatest defeater of the mafia democracy that there is right now. That's what he's doing. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about their system. He doesn't need their money. He doesn't need their backdoor dealing. He doesn't need any of it. And Elon Musk, the same thing. He doesn't need, he's the richest man in the world. And now he's uncovering fraud and abuse, and they are paranoid over it. They don't know what to do because it's upsetting their apple cart where they've been earning their comfortable positions, where they've been earning money. You can't trust these people ever again. When somebody is lying to you on a consistent basis, you can't trust them. You can't put power back in their hands. And we have to, I'm praying that these tariffs work for the benefit of the country, not for Donald Trump's benefit. He's 4 years and he's out. He's not going to run for a third term. 4 years and he's out. He throws these little things out to drive people crazy. And I almost like that he does it. Let the left go crazy. Oh, Donald Trump's going to run. He's going to, destroy the Constitution. I listen to these talking heads. They don't have a clue of what they're talking about. They don't know about negotiation. They don't know about economics. They don't know anything. They've been sitting in their ivory towers getting paid on taxpayer dime, and they don't know anything, and they try to make you believe that they do. That's all this is. And even the economists on the left-hand side, you know how many times they get it wrong? Do you know how many times? On both sides. They get it wrong. These experts, they get it wrong so often. Let's give Trump a chance, people. And I'm telling you this, and I'm going to be preaching this and preaching this. You cannot give these people on the left another chance. They have lied to us consistently over the years. Consistently. They lie to us every single day. Just look at Chuck Schumer. Look at his past. Go through past videos. He's a liar. He's a hypocrite. I'm sorry. People are saying, Michael, you're too outspoken about these people. Watch out. They're going to come after you. Hey, come on after me. But I'm looking for the benefit of my fellow Americans here. And I have to call them out. Adam Schiff, you're a liar, a phony, and a hypocrite. Schumer, liar, phony, hypocrite. AOC, you're a clown. You have no clue what you're talking about. You try to talk to us about economics. You're a socialist. This is not a socialist country. Go to Venezuela, go someplace else and preach your baloney. Or better yet, go to your neighborhood and clean it up. Why don't you try doing that? Why don't you try staying at your office in the Bronx, in that horrible district that you represent? Horrible because you have done nothing to help them out. And these are your people. These are your minority people. You're such a liar, AOC. Really. And you know what? I don't even know what else to say about this, people. But again, I am imploring you as a person that loves and cares about this country, don't trust these people ever again. Don't give them your vote. Don't give them your confidence. Don't trust them ever again. Please. And remember, these protesters on the street, they've been paid. They don't know the issues. They don't understand the tariffs. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't have 401ks. You can look at them and see it. They don't. They're clowns being paid to go and cause trouble because they're those same people that probably don't want to go back to work since COVID. And remember this, I want to tell you this again. Remember this, for all you people that suffered during COVID, lost a loved one. It was these people that lied to us. Even till today, they don't want to admit, after the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Health, they've all said this virus came out of the Wuhan lab. Fauci lied to us. Biden lied to us. They all lied to us. They imposed these vaccines on us. They did all of that. People died. You couldn't be with your loved ones because of this BS separation. That you couldn't even go and spend your last moments with the people that you love. That's what they did. They lied to us and they hurt us. Remember that. These people that talk about democracy, that talk about, peace and how they're nonviolent, yet they're smirking about the Teslas being ravaged and burnt. They're smirking about it. They did nothing during the riots back in 2021. They did nothing during the George Floyd riots. Businesses were burned, people died, cops were killed. They did nothing. They wouldn't even talk about it. And by the way, the media too, don't trust them because they were complicit in the cover-up. Don't trust them. And all of this stems out of the hatred of the disruptor, Donald Trump. And when the disrupting is to them, not to us, to them. This country has been ransacked by our government for far too long, and it's about time we had a disruptor in office that wants to disrupt this deep state garbage that they've thrown at us for years now, decades. And Republicans and Democrats, they went along with it. It's not only the Democratic presidents in office. Republicans went along with it too. They didn't do much about it. Reagan, I think he saw through it. I don't know if he did enough. He went, to a certain extent. But Donald Trump is doing it all. Hey, he's saying, I got 4 years. I'm going to straighten this country out no matter what. We got to pray that he don't lose in the midterms, and then they do everything in their power to try to disrupt it. Believe me, when Donald Trump gives us all a tax break, they're going to be lying to you and say it's for billionaires, and they're just going to say that because that's their talking point. While you're putting the money in your pocket, they're going to be lying to you and saying it's not really going into your pocket, it's going into billionaires' pockets. They're going to lie to you. They're going to lie about everything and anything that Donald Trump does. Remember this. Remember this. Keep this in your head. There's a kid falls overboard. He's on a yacht with Donald Trump. Falls overboard. There's sharks in the water. Donald Trump dives in, saves the young kid. You know what the people on the left are going to say? He starved the sharks. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. I'm not exaggerating. No matter what this guy tries to do that's for the benefit of this country, they are going to say it's wrong, and they're going to demonize him for it because they've got nothing else. Have they suggested anything that could be beneficial? No. Did they do anything beneficial for the 4 years that Biden was in office? No. They wanted to raise our taxes. Our food prices went up. Our gas prices went up. Our manufacturing stayed flat. They closed the Keystone Pipeline. What did they do? They shut down businesses. They did nothing. They did nothing for our benefit. Nothing whatsoever. Donald Trump is trying to reverse it. We got to give him a shot. Let's see what happens with these tariffs. Let's see if he wins. They're negotiating with 70 or something different countries right now. And China, they're going to come to the table. They have to. Right now, they don't know what to do. They have to. And Donald probably is, look, I'll make them look good. I don't care, I don't care. Look, it was like the negotiation I had with John Gotti at some point. When I knew I couldn't win with him because of his ego. I took something, he went away making, I won, I got this flea market. It was over a flea market. Franzese is out. But meanwhile, I got 250 grand or something. And the flea market that he took over, that he boasted about, went broke in 3 months. So, but he was able to walk away boasting, hey, I beat Franzese. I stayed in the market. Well, that's exactly what Trump will probably do. But at the end of the day, he'll come out on top. So let me go to your questions. But please, I leave you with this. Don't ever trust these people again. When people lie to you consistently, you cannot trust them. And they will do anything to get your vote. They will demonize Donald Trump in every way. They will lie to you. You could be looking at yourself in the mirror and they'll lie and say that's not you in the mirror. They'll do anything to demonize Donald Trump and you'll be the victim of that. Remember that. So don't trust them. Don't trust them. And it's all power and money. Let's go to some questions right now. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me get on this here. All right, we're gonna do YouTube first, and then we'll shoot over to Rumble. How's that? Everybody okay with that? Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me get on this here. All right. Well, thank you very much. Look, I appreciate the people that donate. We don't solicit any donations. People that want me to speak to them first, they donate. And only out of courtesy, I do that. But we're also very appreciative of it, I promise you. Unlike these government liars and cheats and frauds, the money doesn't go into my pocket. It goes for good use to keep building this platform and doing the right thing to bring you good content. Okay, Gianna Gambino, any relation to? But anyway, thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you, Michael. You speak the truth. Trump is doing what he promised to do. This is what I voted for. Gianna, spread the word. please spread the word. You got a powerful last name, or a last name that I respect. Please spread the word to everybody that you know. You know this. You know, you can't trust people that consistently lie to you. We got to give our president the chance, you know, to see if what he's doing is going to be the right thing for the country. We're not believing that billionaires and all this stuff are capitalizing on it. It's all nonsense. It's all a lie. We have to be able to see through it and spread the word. You people have a responsibility just like I do. This is our country. It's our children, our grandchildren that we're preserving America for. So we have to spread the word the right way to make people understand the message. They lied to you about Biden. They lied to you about the border. They lied to you about COVID. We can't trust them again. Can't. Plain. They're not trustworthy. Okay, we have another here. Tin Lee. Thank you very much, Tin. He starved the shark. Sounds funny till you realize they already did that with deported gang members and now China cheap goods. Well, listen, let's see what happens. You know, let's see what happens, people. I'm not being affected by it yet. And I mean, as a normal citizen, I go to the grocery store. I don't see anything different yet. Same prices at the gas pump. I haven't seen a difference yet. I'm not saying we won't, okay, but we got to give them, you know, look, it's like anything else. You want to improve your health, you're overweight, what do you need to do? You have to go on a diet. It's painful, you know, because certain things that you want to eat, you can't eat anymore. You have to go to the gym. Very painful to start, you know, and you got to go through the motions. You got to exercise. You got to diet. You got to eat the right foods, things that you maybe didn't eat before. But what's the end result? Your health. So there's always some pain if you want to feel gain, always. So it's the same thing. Our country went so far out of whack, $36 trillion out of whack. We're going to experience back to where we should be. You can't continue paying, you know, $1 trillion a year in interest alone, and think that this country is going to survive long term. And you know what? There's people in the nation right now, not mine, I'm older, but our kids and grandchildren are the ones that would feel the demise of this country if we continue to pay $1 trillion a year on interest. It's inevitable. Your kids and grandchildren are going to suffer. You young people that might be watching this now, you're going to suffer. You're going to see the demise of America if we don't take hold. So it's gone so far out of whack by all our irresponsible politicians. And I say this all the time. We didn't cause this deficit. We gave them our money. They misused it. They misspent it. They defrauded us to the tune of $36 trillion. Will they ever tell us where that money went? No, of course not. But where did it go? They got wealthy. Aside from their baloney programs that they put together and their stupid stuff that never worked because they're not smart. They're not smart. So Nancy Pelosi made $250 million. That's part of your $36 trillion. And all these other politicians, add it all up, you're going to see billions that they're worth. Billions of dollars. And we're $36 trillion in debt. How does that work? You don't have any extra money in your pocket. They did it to us. So Trump is trying to reverse that. So there's going to be some pain. Got to understand it. Thank you, Tin Lee. Okay. Sean Gotti. Palmina and Gianna are my peeps. Okay, great. Rome Fiasco. Gianna Gambino, you know what's up, girl. Okay, I guess you got friends here, Gianna. All right, we have someone else here. Lapco92, thank you very much, Lapco. Next week is the 30th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. I felt my office window shake 9 miles away. There's a lot of questions around it. Would you put it past the intel agencies for government involvement? I don't put anything past the intelligence agencies anymore. Not after Kennedy, not after Cuba, not after these possible assassinations on Trump. I don't put anything past them. I'm sorry, but you know, I'm very hesitant in giving them full credit for anything. Anything could be possible. It's unfortunate, but remember this: the biggest corruption in anything throughout the world is in government. That's where you see the most corruption. The bigger the government, the more corrupt it's going to be. The United States, we have a behemoth government, the biggest government in the world, size-wise. So yeah, it's going to be open to corruption. Open to corruption. So I wouldn't put past anything, Lapco. Thank you very much. Vitamin Dealer, thank you. Stern Show threatens people with Gotti Jr. after working on a movie with him. How would you and your dad have handled that? He's an idiot. You know, come on, he's an idiot. There's no way. Just a dumb son of a gun. John Gotti Jr. probably doesn't even know he's using his name, and he would never allow it anyway. He's an idiot. Pay no attention to him. You know, maybe he would have gotten a beating back then, probably, because one of the worst things you can do is use somebody's name when you're not authorized to do it, and especially using it for a devious purpose. So he probably would have got a beating, honestly. But he's an idiot. Come on, Stuttering John. By his name, you know he's an idiot. Oh my Lord. Jim Garrigas, thank you very much. Wow, what a generous donation. I really appreciate that very much, Jim. Uncalled for, but deeply appreciated. I mean that very much. And he didn't even have a question. Join Michael's community and family. I have loved it. Jim, thank you so much. You know, I hope Caleb, gives you some recognition for this. I'm going to tell him to, Jim. And please jump on our next call so I can answer any questions that you might have. I'd like to meet you personally. We'll do that at one point. But there's Jim, just talking about our community and how he's benefited from it. So any of you that might be interested, michaelfrancis.com/family. I think you'll see it posted in the chat by one of my team members. Come on into the family. It's growing and it's getting better and better. And we're so focused on putting great content. I've had people come on there and say, Michael, you've helped me so much in business just from the courses, how to negotiate, how to be a boss. You know, all these things, we're helping you in both your personal and professional life. And we're also creating a community of like-minded people that are now helping one another. So please, and I have to say this too. Well, I can't say this yet, but I'm sorry. We're having a webinar Monday night for our wine company, but it's closed. It's only for people that are within our community right now. We're going to open it up at a later date, but right now we're giving people within our family and our community an opportunity to benefit from Franzese wine. And after this first webinar, maybe we'll open it up. I think we will open it up to the public and give everybody an opportunity to a company that's growing in leaps and bounds. Jim, thank you so much again. I appreciate it. And I you in the community. And thank you for giving us such a good send-off and appreciate it. Okay, Robert Massatelli, do you think Doge cutting the federal workforce saves money? I think he meant saves money. What justifies a tax cut? With benefits for the rich, 1%, the top rich, what justifies Trump taking time off from work to play golf? Robert, come on. I mean, come on. The guy's 78 years old. Nobody works harder than Donald Trump. I think everybody here in this chat now will tell you that. The guy's a workaholic. He works full time. Hey, listen, you need to take a breather every once in a while. We're not robots. We're not machines. I do the same. I play golf every once in a while, get up early, get out there at 6 in the morning. By 10 o'clock, I'm done, but it eases my attention and my head. You got to have some outside activities, number one. And number two, with this 1%, come on. How do you know that? Give me some examples. Give me some real life examples. When money was put back in our pockets, when he gave us a tax cut, money would put back in our pockets during his first term. Why don't you talk about that, Robert? That was real. That was what people felt in their pockets. So let me ask you a question. You got something against the rich? Can I ask you a question? How many people employ? How many people does Apple employ? How many people does General Motors, does Ford Motor Company? How many people do they employ? How many 401ks are given out to people for their retirement for that? Why are you against people that have made it in this country? We're a capitalist nation. They're the people that put people to work and give people the opportunity to earn and live in a free democratic country. Why do you hate them? These people worked hard, so they made it. So what? Why do people go against them? And I'm not talking about myself. I'm not a billionaire, but I don't have any resentment for people that worked in this country big and now employ people throughout this country. If we didn't have that, we'd have communism or socialism. Do you want the handing out everything to people? You want everybody to work for the government? Is that what you want? Take this resentment away from billionaires. They worked hard to get there, period. And now they benefit everybody else by putting them to work, by giving them 401ks, by setting them up for their retirement. The banks, who are they owned by? Poor people? Insurance companies, who are they owned by? Poor people? I mean, come on. This is a capitalist nation. Don't resent people that made it as a result of the policies in this country. Don't be the government. Don't be the left that want to take everything away from people and keep it for themselves. You think Nancy Pelosi or AOC, they don't care what money you have as long as they're doing well. They resent people that have made money because they're living off of your taxpayer dollars. That benefits them. I'm sorry, Robert, but you got the wrong understanding, man. Yeah, I think Trump should play golf every once in a while. I want him to. I don't want the guy to fall flat on his face from working 24/7. Everybody says nobody works harder than Donald Trump. Come on. Okay, who else we got here? Thomas McCotter. I won't be there. I'm not sure where that is. Dolt optimistic. I'm not from the USA again, but from external point of view, Mr. Trump really is doing good. Everyone in my country admires him. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that. At his golf courses, costing the American government at least $10 million each time. What, in his security? Give me one president that hasn't done that. You're being ridiculous, Robert. What did Biden do? He went to sleep on the beach. How much did that cost us? Why are you not talking about that? What did Obama do? How much did he play golf? Obama became a multimillionaire. He's worth $100 million as a result of his presidency. Why are you not talking about that? Bill Clinton, his foundation. Why are you not talking about that? Multimillionaire as a result of his presidency. Come on, Robert, stop being silly. Stop being, feeding into the left propaganda. What it cost us money. Why are you not saying all the money that Doge is saving us? How come you're not talking about that? All the fraud that he's uncovered. How come you're not talking about that? Tell me. Put it in the chat. Why are you not talking about that? How come you're not talking about the $20 million that Sesame Street production cost us in that foreign country? Why are you not talking about that? Stop the hypocrisy. Stop being fed by the left. Please. This is nonsense. Mandingo McThickens, $9.90. Ooh, not supposed to say that, but thank you very much for that. I'm so sorry, Mandingo, but thank you very much for your donation. It's so infuriating seeing how most of these politicians are stealing from us. I appreciate what Trump has and is sacrificing to correct the rot in this country. Absolutely. They're stealing from us on a daily basis. Go and see how these people live. Go and see the mansions that they live in. Go and see the security that they have, all on your dime. Plus, they're stealing from us. Insider trading, all the lobbyists that give them all the perks and the money and the vacations and everything else. Go see it. AOC, investigate her. She's living off your dime. She was a bartender. Now she's flying first class, staying in the best hotels, all of that. Maxine Waters, same thing. Best hotels, flying first class, lives in a mansion, security around her. But then they talk about, Trump's playing golf. I mean, give me a break. Every one of these politicians that had nothing before, nothing. And now they're living the life of Riley, as we used to say, off of our dime. And then they're stealing besides. Our dime is allowing them to steal on top of what we're paying them. That's it. That's the bottom line. Thank you, Mandingo. Okay, John Francis. Fat Cat, was Pelosi's father in the mob? He wasn't in the mob. He was a mob associate, and it was the mob that put him in office as the mayor of Baltimore. He was definitely hooked up with the mob. Nancy Pelosi lived with him, understands that, and she has mob tactics. There's no question. Look at her history. Look at the series of threats that she put. She's a mobster. That's what she thinks she is, but she does it in government. Her father was definitely mobbed up, 1,000%. Let somebody tell me different. 100%. James Trowbridge, don't get mad at them for being successful. Absolutely. If people weren't successful in this country and we were ruled by the government, we've been living in socialism. That would be it. Go to communist China and ask the people, how much they enjoy living with the government telling them everything, what they can do, including what they can earn or can't earn. If we didn't have billionaires, we wouldn't have a democratic nation. We wouldn't have a democratic republic. We wouldn't have it. So stop resenting these people for being successful. That's what America's all about, living the America dream. It's so stupid when these politicians who are wealthy on our dime get up there and say, billionaires. What are you mad at them for? If it wasn't for billionaires, we wouldn't have this government that we have. So stop being ridiculous. It's so ridiculous to resent people that have made it in this country. Now, you can get mad at the things that they say, but don't get mad at them because they've earned the right to capitalize in a capitalistic country. Stupid. I'm sorry. Linda Liu. Biden was on vacation his whole presidency. Absolutely. Go. Robert, how come you're not talking about how many vacation days he took? He took more than any other president. You're not talking about that. Get the Trump derangement syndrome out of your system. You're not helping America, Robert. You're not thinking of the American people. You're not talking for the benefit of our country. You're talking leftist propaganda and garbage and BS. That's all that is. Nothing more. Project Orion. Mr. Franzese, did you ever know about the Pharaoh's Discotheque Club in South Bayside, Queens? Yes, I did. We won't talk about that right now. Okay, but yes, I did. I was familiar with it. John Carter. Robert Misatelli, it's okay. Do you think all men on the planet should think just like you? Well, Gianna Gambino, yep, and Nancy gained wealth by it. Absolutely, Gianna. And John, I didn't mean to go over that, but I don't want to beat up on Robert anymore. Robert, get the point. Don't listen to this leftist propaganda. If you didn't live in a country with billionaires, okay, you would be living in communist China, or you'd be living in Russia, or you'd be living in a socialist country. Is that what you want? You don't want that. Don't listen to the leftist propaganda and don't resent these people. And they do pay their fair share of taxes. Change the tax code. If you want them to pay more, change the tax code. Very simple. Don't use it as propaganda. Just change the code. When you make X amount of dollars, you're going to pay that much more. Do what you have to do. Do your job in Congress and don't spread propaganda and lies. It's the same thing complaining about the border. Do your darn job. Give us a good immigration policy. Do it the right way, and we wouldn't have any of these issues. Do your job. Don't spread propaganda and lies. Do your job. You don't talk about that. Demonetized. Funny whining about golf when our military has 146 golf courses. Hey, you know what, people? We need leisure time. Absolutely. Men and women that work hard need some time to clear your head out. You need leisure time. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not robots. We're not programmed to work 24/7. That was such a silly thing, especially when you point out his golf and you don't want to talk about Biden or anybody else. I mean, come on. What's good for one is good for the other. All you're doing, Robert, is showing yourself to be biased. It's not good. Think before you talk. How did Jasmine Crockett get rich so fast? Off the American taxpayer's dime. She's traveling first class. See if she traveled first class before she became a congressperson. She's living in a beautiful home. She's got donations now she took money from super PACs. You're not supposed to. She did it. She don't want to account for it, but she did it. Don't you get the scheme here? They all go into office to become wealthy and to have control over us and to dictate to us. Trump disrupted all of that. They hate him for it. That's the bottom line. You can simplify this. Break it down to its simple terms. He disrupted them. He's the great disruptor, and they hate him for it. Do you not understand that? They keep calling him a racist. Where? Show us where he's a racist. Okay, the people on The View, he hates blacks. Show us where he hates blacks. Give us specific examples. There are none. Mark Cuban, big billionaire idiot. billion. Trump surrounds himself with dumb women, is basically what he said. Really? Show us that. Trump's got more women in his cabinet around him than anybody else. And they're all very intelligent and very capable. But that's what Mark Cuban, brain surgeon of a billionaire. Idiots. I'm sorry, Cuban. I don't give a darn how much money you got. Doesn't matter to me. How do you make such a dumb statement? Just shooting off your mouth. You don't even know what you're talking about. Like half the people. What did Trump say? He said it's sunny out today. Oh my God. No. There's really a cloud somewhere. He just prepare for rain. Prepare for rain. Donald Trump, bring your umbrella outside. That's a perfect example. That's all they do. They don't have an answer for him shutting down the border. So now they're trying to stop the deportations of people that are killing us in this country. Bottom line, they killed people in this country. They murdered, they raped. They don't want them out of the country. The American people do. I saw a poll, 83% are for the deportations. But in Congress, they're fighting it. The left is fighting it. Why? Give us one reason. Who are you worried about? Their voting power? You want to keep them here so that they can vote for you without registering or without having proper ID? Who are you kidding? You're not kidding me. And I'm going to make people understand they're not kidding. Don't let them kid you either. Hypocrites and liars and frauds earning off of your dollar. If it wasn't for you, these people would be working who knows where. Who knows where. Okay, Lapko 92, very good point. Thank you very much, sir. Or madam, I'm not sure, but I think it's a sir. Congress spends more time fundraising than what we sent them to do. They built the system around it. Their dysfunction is a huge problem. USA's been bloodied, but we're still standing. Excellent conclusion. You're so right. All they do from the minute they get in office, they're trying to raise money for their next congressional run. You're absolutely right. It's all about the money. That's it. You're so right about that, Lapko. Thank you for that message. Aussie Wolfhound, thank you very much. I wonder how many of these Trump bashers who go on about him playing golf and hate rich people even have jobs. Well, you're right. Many of them don't want a job. They want to stay home. All of a sudden, after COVID, it's more productive to work at home than it is in the office. Come on. Who are you people kidding? You're probably working another job, doing nothing for the government because we know, the government bureaucracy. We understand that. There was no oversight over you. You're sitting in your house. I saw one woman in Congress saying, you know what, it's going to cost us more money. She was trying to make a point for not going back to the office. It's going to cost us more money because we're going to have to hire childcare if we go back to the office. And the congressman said, well, who's watching your kids now while you're home? Oh, so you're spending time watching your kids when you're supposed to be working for the government. And she didn't know what to say. You're not supposed to be watching your kids when you're working. No. Your job is to get childcare. That's up to you, how you take care of your kids. The government is supposed to be doing that on their dime for you. This is the mentality they now have. Nobody wants to go back to work. So Trump making people go back to work. Oh, he's the demon. All of a sudden, it's demonized if you have to go to the office to go to work. Do you understand the propaganda that they've been fed? How lazy people have gotten? Okay, all right, let's go. And then we're going to switch over to Rumble in a minute. Mark Travis, my mom said I don't have a heart because the kids suffer. I said, Mom, they brought the kids here illegal. Listen, we have to have borders and we have to have a proper policy that Congress puts in place. Blame Congress for this mess because they didn't do anything about putting a proper immigration policy in place. Blame Congress, Democrats and Republicans. Tell them to get off their collective asses and do something that works. That's what they get paid for, aside from what they steal. That's what they're paid for. So tell them, get off their collective asses and do something about it. Yes, kids suffer as a result of Congress's inactivity and irresponsibility. That's what we hire them for, to solve these issues. So we don't have a mess at the border. We don't have kids suffering. We don't have 300,000 kids that were brought over the border during the Biden administration that we lost track of. Congress's fault in all of this, because they sit on their asses on their ivory towers and they don't get work done. It's their fault. All right, people, we're going to switch now. Let me see. Johnny Gambino's back again. Hit the like button. Michael is working hard for us with telling the facts. Gianna, thank you again for that. I appreciate it very, very much. Listen, I really mean this, people. Maybe from being on the street and then reversing the course of my life, I hate when people take advantage of people. I hate when the liars are held in high esteem. I hate when the frauds who are hurting people, they're hurting people. They should not be able to get away with this. They don't deserve it. And we have to hold them accountable. And I'm not going to sit by idly and watch it happen. I just can't. I'm sorry. So I'm going to be speaking like this until I can't speak anymore. I feel responsible to do it. And again, I have kids and grandkids and more on the way. And I want this country to be the same country that I grew up in. I mean it. I've had tremendous opportunity. And so many people of my generation have had the same. I want it to continue. I want the United States to be the world dominant country, because when we're operating, we keep the world at peace for the most part. We are controlling America. So you need the right people in power that control America so that we can control the rest of the world properly, so that everybody can live in peace and harmony and other countries can thrive. Thank you, Gianna. Sure, love you, brother. Thank you very much. Very generous of you, my friend. Extremely generous. Stay positive. We will talk. Okay, I'm ready to talk when you are. Again, before I'm going to switch to Rumble now because I've given YouTube quite a bit. But I do want to say this. I lost my train of thought for a minute. Oh, wait a minute. No, I was going to answer a question. I'm sorry. See how when I get to rant, I lose my train of thought. Anyway, I do want to say, join the family, michaelfrancis.com/family. And look, I put it right out there. Not going to break the bank. There's other organizations out there. You got to spend $100, $150 a month, $49 a month. We're not anywhere close to that. And we charge a little bit so that we can support and keep putting resources in there. I'm not making money on it. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to create a global community, a national community first, and then a global community. michaelfrancis.com/family. No obligation, no contract. You come in, you love it, you stay in. You don't like it, you're out. We're doing so many good things for people. That's my legacy. That's what I want it to be. Hey, Michael Francis was gone, but look what he did. He brought hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people together, thinking properly. And I'm not talking about pushing propaganda, talking rationally and reasonably and helping one another unite the country, not divide the country, because we're going to continuously fight against a government that's trying to Democrats, Republicans, they're trying to divide us. We're going to continually fight against it. So as a community, we need to see through all of this, put the right people in place to govern this country properly so that we can all benefit as a one united people. That's what I want my legacy to be. michaelfrancis.com/family. Join the family today. Okay, I'm switching to Rumble right now. YouTube, you've been great. Don't go off. We're staying on here. We're not going. Okay. Here we go, Rumble. Give me a moment and we will. Okay, we're in the chat. Rumble, thank you. Joey Cataldo, good friend. Thanks to Rudy Giuliani, America will never be the same. There's nobody watch. Oh, what happened? There's nobody watching the streets. We Italians were the best homeland security criminals, but patriots who loved America. Well, listen. Rudy and I are friends right now. You know, he did clean up New York City. He was a great mayor. He would be a great mayor again. I don't know if he's going to run. He's probably not, but I like Rudy, and I have to be honest. He did a great job in cleaning up, my former life. Don't let me talk too much. I'll get in trouble from people on both sides. But anyway, he would be a good mayor. He really would be. Joey, thank you for that. John Apro, YouTube shows only 1,000 viewers while you've 125,000 here. This is the True Freedom channel while YouTube controls free speech. It's okay. I love the people that support me on YouTube. It's okay. The people that jump on, they jump on. But Rumble, I love this platform also. Listen, I love people. Whatever platform you join me on, I appreciate your support. I wouldn't have a platform if it wasn't for you people supporting me. I know that my head is not in the clouds. I don't have an ego like that. I'm not one of these, celebrities that think who the hell I am. No, if you don't buy their tickets, they're nobody. They may have talent, but their talent isn't going to get them anywhere if people didn't support them and appreciate it. And it's the same thing on YouTube. It's the same thing on social media. If you people didn't support us, what would we have? It's the same people, these people in government. If we didn't pay them through our taxpayer dollars, what would they have? Nothing. So many of these people wouldn't be capable of running a business or doing anything else. So you always have to be mindful of the people that support you, no matter who you are. That's why some of these celebrities, they're getting it right back now. You can't go out and shame people that are supporting you. You can't. And for those of you that heard me, just now, I responded to Robert because he's wrong. You don't have resentments for billionaires. You don't knock Trump for golfing. And if you're going to knock Trump, then what about Biden taking vacations? What about Obama on the golf course? What about Obama being worth $100 million now? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you don't like the system, that's one thing. But come on, you don't begrudge somebody and say it's costing us $10 million because he's playing golf. I mean, that's just the system. He's got to have security around. I mean, that's just the way it is. He didn't create that. What do you want the guy to do? Work 24/7 and collapse? Well, some of you may want him to do that. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Thank you very much for that, John Ed Pro. Okay. Oh, Diggy L, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate that. Thanks, Michael. Enjoyed Lindy Lee interview. She was terrific, Lindy Lee. And Lindy Lee is being corroborated by all those people that are writing books about Biden. She's 100% corroborated in everything that she said. Lindy said on Sean Ryan, Democrats pretend to hate Trump. It's a show, a charade. They crave him. They need him for the fundraising machine. Who knows? She may be right. I think there is some validity to that. The more you throw hatred at Trump, the more you go out and ask people for money to defeat him. And you put the propaganda in their head. Trump's the devil. Trump's a Nazi. Trump's Hitler. Trump's anti-dem. He's a dictator. He's all of this. If you want to save yourself from that, give us money so that we can drive him out of office. Yeah, it's a tactic. It's a skill. She's right about that to a degree. No doubt about it. They'll use anything to grab your money. Anything to grab your money and stay in power. Great point, Diggy. Thank you for bringing that up. Sign of Jonah. Trump trusts women in positions of power, while I believe women are an overall overwhelming net loss in politics. Well, I can't say that. I don't know that to be a fact. I won't say that. I mean, I think some of the women, unfortunately, give other women a bad name. The Maxine Waters, the AOC, the Elizabeth Warren. They're the ones you hear all the time. I'm sure there's many women in Congress that are not looking to bring adoration on themselves and are just doing their job. That's what I believe. But you see the AOC, outspoken. What's her name? Jasmine, Crockett. She wants to be the darling of Congress now. So she's out there. She dolls herself up. She talks the loudest. She race baits. She does all of that. She wants the attention. Maxine Waters, she wants the attention. So these women that speak the loudest, like bobbleheads, they want the attention. They make it bad for other women. But I think they're very capable women in Congress. I mean that. Even if they're on the wrong side because they're sticking to their party, which I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean they're not capable. Okay, here for crowd on this day. And technically, Israel does start most wars, but the enemy of Israel are who terrorize the world, so nuke them. I don't want to nuke anybody. Innocent people die when you nuke people. I don't want to nuke anybody. I want peace in the world. I believe Trump wants peace in the world, and that's where we got to go. We got to achieve peace in the world. I don't want to nuke anybody. That's silly, irresponsible talk, because nukes go all over the place. You destroy the entire continent, the entire world with a nuclear war. Mac Van Man, the stock market is not the economy. The Great Depression happened because the Fed tried to deflate a bubble they created in the 1920s, and there wasn't enough money in the system. I won't dispute that, Magavan. You know, manipulating on the top, I won't dispute that at all. Because remember, they don't care about people on the street. They really don't. The only thing they care about people on the street is for votes and their taxpayer dollars. They don't care about their welfare. And any way they can grab it, that's what they're going to do. They don't care about people. Don't let them blind you and make you believe they do. Ruben Schmeiner, if people don't wake up racially, it's harder to understand the full scale of JQ. Anti-Sem laws gives hope, because that usually is the beginning of the end of Jewish circle is closing again after the 80 years. I'm not too sure about that. I don't want to get into the whole look. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Palestinian. I'm for people. I'm anti-terrorist. I'm anti-Hamas. I'm anti-Hezbollah. I'm anti-Iran terrorism. I'm anti all of that. I don't care what nationality or ethnic background they're in. And I'm anti-Jew starting wars also. I don't want to see any of that. Nobody does. Okay? It doesn't matter what race or nationality or anything else you are. We don't want to see any of that, because people die. Innocent people die. Innocent people are dying in Ukraine and Russia. Innocent people are dying in Palestine and Israel. We don't want to see that. Innocent people die at the hands of terrorists. We don't want to see that. Doesn't matter what they're back. If they were Italian terrorists, I tell you the same thing. I don't want to see that, because innocent people die. Susan Grove, product is good, it sells itself, no ads needed. Well, you know, that's true to extent, but people have to know about the product, so that's how you advertise, by letting them know about it. And yeah, then once they experience it, it could sell themselves. I agree with that. Zion suck, whatever. Go watch You Are Amalek. They even tell you their intentions of destroying USA and Europe. Well, they probably do. I'm not sure what Amalek is, but we could look into that. Hi, Mike from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a fan of yours and the Tate brothers. Thank you, admin, and thank you very much for that. I'll be in Phoenix next week. I'm going to be doing a couple of interviews with some high-profile podcasters. So my team is sending me there. More work, but not in my office, outside. You got to travel outside the office sometime to work. People that stay at home, remember that. Okay, sign of Jonah. Bill Maher found Trump to be courteous and friendly and warm and welcoming. Yes, and that was an anti-Trumper. And listen, go read the article. It's in the New York Post. I don't want to bore you by reading the whole thing, but go read it. Great article of how Bill Maher sat with Donald Trump and what he came away with. Now, you know, he was an anti-Trump guy. You know that. And he's not changing his parties. But listen to what he has to say. Bill Maher's a reasonable guy. We may differ in opinion, but you can reason with him. That's all we ask. Let us reason with you and reason with me. I could be wrong, but show me. Let's come to a rational conclusion. Okay, John Apro again. By the way, I am an Armenian, last name Abrahamian, and I enjoyed your wine. John Apro, thank you. For those of you who haven't experienced our wine is from the world's oldest vineyards. Just a quick background. When Noah's Ark landed, and yes, I believe Noah's Ark, it's biblical, it's all over scripture. Yes, it really happened. It's history. It's historical. There's a flood. Noah's Ark, the flood subsides. It lands at the foot of Mount Ararat, which was Armenia. The new civilization, new people come out. The rest of the world was destroyed. And what do? They start to cultivate the land, and they build, they cultivate the world's first vineyards. We're from Armenia. That's it. Our wine comes from the world's first vineyards. Try it. It's delicious. For the price, you can't beat it. And everybody is saying that. I mean, everybody. Our Irani, our Malbec, our pomegranate wine, and now our blackberry wine, our white wine. People are loving it. And for the price, you can't beat it. If you're on a budget and you want a great tasting wine, go to franziswine.com, and experience it. It sells itself, like that person before it said. Thank you very much for saying that. Okay, we 7 more minutes. 10:30. I got to cut it short Pacific time. Mike, if this is Shan Zicknader, Mike, if you were to make a sequel to Mausoleum, would you hire that Mamaluke Rachel Ziegler to be in it? No, I would not. She's a good actress. You got to give her that. You know what? She's 23 years old. For those of you that don't understand what this question is about, if you go on YouTube, I think here on Rumble too, Mamaluke of the Week is our new series. You know what a Mamaluke is? It's a dimwit, a nincompoop. By the way, I was asking people, have you ever heard the word nincompoop, the expression? And so many people responded, yes, I'm from your generation, and yes, I've heard it, and blah, blah, blah. It was a great, great, great discussion back and forth. But Mamaluke of the Week was Rachel Ziegler, that young girl, very pretty, 23 years old, great actress, but she wasn't very bright. She said so many things that helped the demise of Snow White, the box office, the live action box office release from Disney. Disney's culpable too, but I made her the Mamaluke of the Week for the words that she spoke. The thing, and she was a Mamaluke. There's no, but we got to give her some grace. She's only 23 years old. She's got a lot to learn. I suggested that she get herself a consigliere like we had in the mob to advise her properly how to speak and not to speak and what to say when you do speak, especially when you're releasing a movie that you want people to come and buy tickets for. So anyway, go look at it. I think you'll enjoy it. We have a new Mamaluke coming up every Friday. Every Friday on YouTube at 4 o'clock and also on Rumble. We're going to be releasing it and on X and on Instagram, and people are enjoying it. We're going to have fun with it. It's not only politics, it's people from all walks of life. As a matter of fact, you can nominate. Tell me in your chat, who do you want to be Mamaluke of the Week that week? And we'll choose and we'll make him that or her that. Good question, good comment, rather. Did the same people who killed the K brothers also kill Marilyn Monroe? I do believe, based upon what I was told, that the mob was complicit in Marilyn Monroe's death. I don't think it was a suicide. And if it was a suicide, it was a forced suicide, which doesn't make it a suicide, if you understand where I'm going. I want to leave that alone right now. It's for a longer discussion. Okay. But good point. This is, okay. Brother, you got a spider leg hanging out. Your shirt is really distracting. A spider leg, what is that? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that this or that? I don't know. It's amazing how observant people are about certain things. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I can do to fix my shirt, but try to focus on my, not so good looking face. And by the way, these glasses keep falling off. They're not my normal glasses. Anyway, Candy TV, 14 billion to Israel since the president of peace to office as homeless people die on the street from his death jab. Well, I don't know who you're referring to, whether it be Biden or Trump. But yeah, homeless people are dying in California because we wasted so much money on DEI projects and all anti-Trump projects and all, making this a sanctuary city state. We have the worst homelessness here. And I don't know if you can blame the president of the United States for homelessness in this country, but if you want to blame Trump, blame them all. Blame them all. Trump's been in office for 4 months. Blame them all. Blame the governors of the states, where like Newsom and all the other governors, Hochul in New York, where homelessness is exploding. They wanted to play migrants with your taxpayer dollars instead of helping the homeless. And by the way, California wasted billions of dollars in building shelters that they never built for the homeless people. So blame the governors who are blowing the money. And you want to know something? I'm sorry, they're all Democrats. They're all Democrats. They're all liberal Democrats because they don't care about the homeless. Remember Newsom? He cleaned up the city when the delegation was coming here from where? From China. He cleaned up, got rid of the homeless. And as soon as China left, they all came back. Phonies, hypocrites, Democratic governors. Sorry, it is what it is. Ruben Schmeiner, Trump is no Hitler. That is deliberate daily undermining of AH, who really loved his people, animals, and nature. Ended usury and Jewish rule. Okay, well, Trump is not a Hitler. There's no question about it. Adolf Hitler, who really loved his people, animals, and nature. I don't know about that. He ended usury and Jewish rule. I'm not going to comment on that. Hitler was not a good human being. Let's put it that way. Candy TV. Trump is a plant, a compromised trick, and you are all falling for it. Mr. Operation Warp Speed shut down the country and is now waging war on country after country. Candy TV, I disagree with you. You have 4 months in of Trump's office. Trump has been saying this for the past, while he was creating his billions, irregardless of what China was doing. He was talking about this for years and years and years. He's not shutting down the country. He's not shutting down other countries. Please, before you speak, there are 70 countries that he imposed tariffs on that are now coming in to make a deal with the United States to even out the trade barriers that exist between us. He's resetting the economic trade worldwide. That's what he's doing. So please don't take these liberal talking points. Have you been affected by this? If so, tell us how. You have no evidence of this. You have no evidence. You're just using liberal talking points because they hate Trump. Admit to it. Come on, Candy. You're an intelligent person. Don't do that. Trump is a plant for who? Tell us who he's a plant for. Be specific. Show us evidence. Who is Trump a plant for? We know who Biden was a plant for. They're writing books about it now. People are talking about it now. His own staff. He was a plant for the deep state, the liberal Democrats. We know that. Show me who Trump is a plant for. Be specific. Give me evidence like they've been showing us with Biden. Too late, but they've been doing it now because they turn on each other. That's what they're cannibals. Okay, but show us with Trump. Give me an example right now of who Trump is a plant for. Can you do that? This is the problem. Propaganda and lies that are planted by the left that get into people's head. And you, oh yeah, Trump is a plant. Ask the question, well, for who? Be specific. Show us evidence. Who is he a plant for? A compromised trick, and you're all falling for it. In other words, Candy TV, you're the smart one, and we're all dumb, right? We're all idiots. 83 million people, or 73 million people, whatever the number is that voted for Trump, we're all dumb. We're all stupid. You're the smart one, Candy TV. Okay, prove it to us. Show us how. Give me the evidence. Be specific. You made specific statements here. Give us the support, the evidence, the background. Show us. Mr. Operation Warp Speed shut down the country. No, he didn't. Country's not shut down. Country is working and operating. No problem whatsoever. Propaganda. Country is not shut down. It's what you're saying is incorrect. I'm not going to call you a liar. It's just untrue. It's incorrect. This is what happens, people. Perfect example of it right here. Where did she hear this from? She didn't do independent investigation on this. She heard it from somebody else. MSNBC, CNN, where'd she hear it from? Somebody on the street? She picked it up. She's revealing it to all of us. She has no evidence of this because there is no evidence. Sorry, Candy, but if you throw it out there and I see it, I'm going to respond, like it or not. MAGA Van Man, you can still buy stocks on credit. The problem was that the Fed flooded the system with money and it was very easy to get credit to buy stocks. Absolutely. Very good observation. You're 100% right on that. Stock market is up 500 points this week after the dip and explosion and dip, and it's going to keep going up and down, just the way it is. Okay, we got, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Rubensheimer, yes, they die, and by whose hand? It really does not help. Do you think about race? Because those who rule do Jewish subversives. I don't want to get into all of this Jewish stuff right now, people. That's not what the topic of this is right now. And, you know, some of you people that are for whatever reason against the Jews, you just bring it up no matter what the topic is. Can we stay away from that unless we're dealing with that specific topic? Because I'm not going to get into it. MAGA, Candy TV, he got conned by Fauci and friends. He tried to bring deep state demons into the fold, and they burned him bad, used him. He's wiser now, kicking them out instead of trying to make deals. MAGA Van Man, you're very intelligent. You're exactly right. He did get flummoxed a little bit in his first term, new to politics, didn't understand just how bad it could be, how corrupt it could be, how much of a mafia democracy it could be. He's a lot wiser now. He's not falling for this garbage anymore. You nailed it. 100%, MAGA Van. Thank you. Diggy L, Snow White tanked. Yes, it did. Okay. Michael, Joseph Cataldo, what day and time does the family get together? And we've been missing the sit downs. When you say the family, well, it's announced in the family when we do get together. If that's what you're referring to, michaelfrancis.com/family. I don't know if you're referring to that. Anyway, I got to get going, people. So let me just leave you with this. Thank you very much. We did an hour and a half. It's longer. We usually do about an hour and a half. But let me just say this. A couple of things I'll leave you with. Francis Swine again, franciswine.com. 20% off of anything that you purchase from now until Easter Sunday and in honor of Easter Sunday. And also there's a 20% coupon there. If you take it into your store, okay, they'll give you 20% off and we're paying for it. That's a gift from us at Francis Wine. So go to franciswine.com and enjoy it for the Easter holiday. michaelfrancis.com/family. Please, I'm asking you to give it a shot. I know you're going to enjoy it. I was so encouraged and satisfied by the call that we had last night with many people. I do Q&As, we answer them. So many people were really, really thanking me for the resources that we've been putting in and the experiences that they've been having with others in the platform. It's been a very, very positive experience, and we will continue to make it so. We're bringing back community in this country, the sense of community. I want this to be my legacy where, hey, Michael Francis did good for the country, good for the world, is that he brought people together. He was a uniter, not a divider. And people understand this. When I'm ranting and raving about people on the left, what I'm ranting against is their behavior. They're lying to you. That's what's divisive. They're lying to you. And if you put that lying aside and enough people keep rebuking them, like they did with the election with Trump, if you keep rebuking them, eventually they're going to fold because their audience is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And finally, they're going to be saying, we're swimming against the tide. We have to stop this. That's how we'll stop the divisiveness in this country, by rebuking them, eliminating them, not giving them any. And what am I saying? What am I eliminating for? Not our freedom of our speech. We're fighting against people trying to rein us in. We're fighting against the people that demand we drive an electric car, the people that lied to us about climate change. Remember, it was, the world was heating up. And then when that didn't work, when the evidence showed it wasn't global warming, then it became climate change because they had to continue the money flow, continue making people wealthy for the facade they were pulling over our eyes. That's all it was. Nothing more. I'm not saying that we can't do the climate in better shape. Yes. But to the extent and the extreme that they're talking about, no. AOC said the world was going to collapse in 12 years. I think 5 of those years are gone now. So we'll see what happens in 7 more. Just lies. Fill their own pockets. Lies, lies, lies. We're fighting against people imposing electric washing machines, electric dryers, vaccines, it's garbage that they're teaching in our schools. We're fighting against it. We're being rational. That's all we're being. So we rebuke the people that lie to us for their own benefit and hurt us in the process. That's all it is. So michaelfrancis.com/family. Hope to see you in there. People, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, a blessed weekend. We get closer to Easter Sunday. Jump onto my Bible study on Thursday the 17th, michaelfrancis.com/Bible study. It don't cost you anything. You just have to register. We want your email. We want you to know who's watching us and listening to us. And I want to encourage you in this Bible study. That's all I'm going to be doing, okay? Look at me. I should be dead or in prison for the rest of my life. I've been given a second shot, taken advantage of it, only through the mercy of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's it for today. How do I always leave you? Be safe, be healthy. God bless each and every one of you, your families, your loved ones, your neighborhoods, your communities. God bless America. And people, I'll see you next time. Take care.